It's happened. Canelo Crawford, 13th of September in Las Vegas. Thank you for everyone. Thank you, Canelo. Thank you, Crawford.
Tyson Bell, listen, it has been announced today. Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Bud Crawford, September 13th, Las Vegas, free with your subscription on Netflix.
This is big news for boxing fans. Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford have agreed to fight on September 13th. The two powerful nations made it public in front of Turkey Alalshik. In this unique peek, we'll learn about their views, expert predictions, and what's at stake in this historic showdown. The stage is set for a huge fight. Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. The official date for the fight between two of the best boxers is September 13th. At first, Canelo wasn't sure if he wanted to take on Crawford's long-awaited challenge. But after months of back and forth, he now understands the fight and the risks that come with it.
Too great in the last era. It's gonna be big.
What does it do to your two legacies?
Sometimes people talk shit a lot, and when they stay in the ring, they do nothing.
You know, a win against Canelo Alvarez.
Now, September 13th, that's why we are here, to see who's the best.
We're gonna give the fans a show, for sure, because it don't take a big punch to knock somebody out.
Crawford, on the other hand, has become more sure of himself after pushing for this fight over and over again. Not only does he want to win, he's announcing that he will be the one to leave the ring victorious.
2 losses. A fighter never think about lose.
He's significantly bigger than anyone you fought before, and he's one of the all-time greats. You're not going to feel apprehensive when you get in that ring against him?
Fear? No.
I will for you, and I'm not even you.
That's cool.
But can you accept he's better than you at anything or not?
No, because he ain't proven it yet.
Terrence, this is shaping up to be one of the hottest and most intense boxing fights ever. Both boxers are fully committed. Crawford is fully aware of the hurdles that await him in his next bout with Canelo Alvarez, as both boxers bring unique abilities to the ring. Crawford knows the difficult road ahead, but he is confident in his preparation and attitude for the fight.
It's going to be a tough challenge on both sides. You know, he's going to have some challenges. I'm going to have some challenges. That's what great fights is about. You know, who overcome them challenges and who capitalize on the other fighter mistakes, and who got the best game plan, you know, who can adapt. So I'm gonna be ready, I'm gonna be prepared, and I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to it.
Crawford's words show what a great winner is like. He is prepared to meet any challenges that may appear and capitalize on any mistakes. Canelo may make it with a game plan in place and a desire to show himself. Crawford is ready to give it his all on September 13th, making this a fight for the history books. Canelo Alvarez is no stranger to the attention, but he's not interested in boxing's trash talk and gimmicks. In a furious statement, he criticizes the tendency of YouTube boxers who rely on hype and trash language to market their fights, stressing that he and Crawford do not have to go to that level.
Because we are true fighters.
Yeah, two fighters, but
True fighters.
True, yeah, of course. No, not YouTuber fighters.
Huh?
Not YouTuber fighters. Yeah, of course.
They need to talk and talk shit about the fight because they want to sell something. The people know we are great fighters. We want to put a great fight.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk.
I am sure in the end in the mid of September we will have one of the greatest fight ever happen in boxing, and I am sure.
Yeah.
Canelo's statements show his respect for the sport and his opponent, Terrence Crawford. Both of these great fighters value the fight over theatrics. With a concentration on talent, strategy, and emotion, this fight will show what true boxing is all about. The battle speaks for itself. Ajagba, the heavyweight contender, expressed his view on Terrence Crawford's forthcoming battle with Canelo Alvarez, while Ajagba admires Crawford's technique and strength. he is worried about his ability to step up in weight to face Canelo. Ajagba discusses the difficulties Crawford may face while venturing outside of his normal weight class to fight the Mexican champion.
To be honest, I like Crawford, you know. I like Crawford. It's my guy, you know. So we talk a lot, you know. Strong, skillful, you know, smart, you know, strong, you know what I mean. But the thing is this: when you move up to the weight, it's gonna be difficult for him to fight. If you move up, like when you move up to the weight to fight Canelo, that's not the weight class. That's not what he used to fight before. So it's gonna be confused. I mean, it's not going to be comfortable with it, you know. But Canelo is going to be comfortable with the weight to fight Crawford to move up all the weight. But I prefer Crawford to tell Canelo to come down to fight him.
Jagba notes that, while Crawford has the potential to win the weight class, the adjustment might be a key effect. He suggests that Crawford consider lowering his weight to face Canelo, but the issue of transitioning to a new class may make it a tough battle for him. Despite his concerns about the weight differential, Ajagba is not shy in expressing his trust in Crawford's capacity to win. He is confident in Crawford's strength and skill, citing those qualities as the keys to defeating Canelo.
If Crawford takes the fight, he's going to win the fight. He'll beat Canelo, to be honest.
He'll beat Canelo?
Yes, he'll beat Canelo. He's strong, he's skillful, and he's a southpaw.
Jagba feels confident about Crawford's chances. He thinks Crawford's skill set and strength make him a formidable opponent, even against someone as accomplished as Canelo, despite the weight difficulties. Ajagba thinks Crawford's talent will carry him to victory as excitement grows for the highly anticipated battle between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford on September 13th. Showbiz, the adult, has verified a game-changing statement for boxing fans. This fight, situated in Las Vegas, will be free with a Netflix subscription, allowing it to reach a wide audience.
Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford, September 13th, Las Vegas, free with your subscription on Netflix.
This historic agreement will bring one of boxing's most anticipated fights straight to the screens of millions of fans. They now have a rare chance to see this historic fight without paying the high pay-per-view price. Because of Netflix's large platform, this move has the ability to transform how we watch major boxing matches. Dan Rafael, a famous boxing journalist, voiced his opinion on the ramifications of Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford being announced for a Netflix special. He stressed the significance of this agreement, especially given the considerable change in viewership from past DAZN broadcasts. Rafael sees this as a major potential to reach a vast global audience.
I mean, no disrespect to DAZN, but even when his fights were not on pay-per-view when they were part of DAZN, they were only reaching a very tiny audience. Netflix is the biggest streaming service in the world. As I said, I think they count 300 million subscribers around the globe. You know, probably about 100 million or so are in the United States. It's huge.
Yeah, mega.
Rafael's statement emphasizes the significant rise in visibility for the Canelo versus Crawford fight as a result of the partnership with Netflix. This highly anticipated fight is expected to draw a considerably greater viewership than ever before, using Netflix's vast worldwide reach.
Canelo Alvarez will be defending the super middleweight title against Terence Bud Crawford September 13th in Las Vegas, live on Netflix. Got two guys who the boxing world views as some of the best boxers on planet Earth officially getting in the ring. As a reminder, September 13th, Las Vegas, undisclosed venue on Netflix. Tell your friends who aren't boxing friends, hey, no pay-per-view, you'll be able to watch it.
This might revolutionize the game in boxing by giving a platform that goes well beyond established sports networks. Showbiz the adult shared his excitement and faith in Canelo Alvarez's next fight against Terence Crawford on September 13th. He's willing to place a large wager on Canelo to win, but he has some doubts about how Crawford's physical condition will play out in the ring. Despite his trust in Canelo, Showbiz isn't completely sold on the fight's end, understanding Crawford's strength but also his possible weaknesses.
As long as the max bet doesn't exceed $30,000, all right, because I only got $30-some thousand in my book, I'm going to put the max bet down. If it's 20 G's, if it's 30 G's, I'm putting the max bet down on Saul Canelo Alvarez to defeat Terence Bud Crawford September 13th. And here's the funny thing, all right? I am not that confident. I'm confident, but I'm not that confident. Tyson. Terrence Crawford looking good. He's about 186 pounds right now. He's looking good. He looks a little slow, but he's looking good. All right, that's going to come with age and all those things. Anyway, let me see. MF was still going to fire Sticky. Yeah, I know how people are, but it doesn't matter. Listen, Netflix, that's going to be a huge fight, and shout out to His Excellency.
Showbiz's comment shows his conflicting feelings regarding the battle. While he's ready to bet big on Canelo, he recognizes Crawford's potential obstacles as he moves up in weight class. Crawford's physical condition is being scrutinized, especially considering his slow training schedule and his move to 168 pounds, a weight class he has never fought in before. Despite concerns about Crawford's ability to adjust to the new weight class, Showbiz still believes in Canelo's chances of victory. He compares it to Crawford's prior performance at 154 pounds, which he did not think was good enough to justify moving up to face a champion like Canelo at 168.
Matchup for me. I think Canelo at 168. Bud never been there before. It's just a logical thing. Bud jumping up from 154, which he didn't look all that great against Madrimov, jumping all the way up to 168 against the undisputed champion in Saul Canelo Alvarez when he's 38 years old.
Showbiz points out the stark difference in experience and weight classes, highlighting Crawford's struggle to adapt to 168 pounds while Canelo is in his prime at that weight. This weight difference could play a crucial role in determining the result of the fight, despite his worries about Crawford's adjustment to 168 pounds. He respects Crawford and thinks that if the underdog wins, Crawford's place as one of the greatest boxers in history will be cemented. Showbiz stresses how monumental a win for Crawford would be. Defeating Canelo at 168 pounds would raise Crawford into the rarefied domain of boxing history, earning him a seat among the sport's all-time legends. Jose Benavidez Sr. has given his uncensored view on the forthcoming Canelo-Crawford fight. He draws comparisons to prior matches that did not live up to fan expectations, such as Canelo's fight with Charlo, hinting that Crawford will struggle against Canelo's strength and technique. Benavidez Sr. thinks Crawford's approach will not be adequate to overcome Canelo's issues in the ring.
Think about what's going to happen with Canelo and Crawford. The same fight that happened with Charlo, same fight with Straw. You know, this guy's a little guy, bro. You think Crawford is going to come and trade with him?
No, not trade him, but he'll let his hands go more than those guys. They do enough to win the fight.
Well, that's what you think. That's what everybody thinks.
Right.
You know, he's going to bomb and boom, boom, and boom, boom. You know, you think he's going to, by the time he throws, because you know Canelo, you throw a punch at him, you're going to catch him. Now, if you try to throw two punches, he's going to catch you with a big shot.
Benavidez Sr. believes that, while Crawford may have some success with his mobility and striking, he will eventually struggle to trade punches with a juggernaut like Canelo. He feels Crawford will be unable to escape Canelo's counterattack when trying to land many punches, resulting in him being hit with powerful shots. He thinks the bout will be one-sided because of Canelo's ability to capitalize on mistakes and shift the subject. Benavidez Sr. dismisses parallels between Crawford and famous boxers such as Floyd Mayweather. Crawford is a talented boxer, but he is not the same as Mayweather, who mastered defense and precision. Benavidez Sr. makes a clear difference between Crawford's style and Mayweather's success, explaining why Crawford will be unable to employ a similar tactic against Canelo.
That's what he does. No, that's what he does. You know, he gets hit.
Floyd won a lot of fights like that. He just pop shot him.
Oh, come on. You cannot compare Floyd.
He's not Floyd Mayweather.
He's not Floyd Mayweather, you know. But that's what I think, you know. I think it's just going to be a boring fight. People are going to be very upset. Remember this. People are going to be super upset with this fight. Again.
Benavidez Sr. ends his analysis by predicting that the bout will disappoint supporters. He thinks that Crawford's style, while effective, will not be enough to keep the fight exciting or competitive. The conclusion, he thinks, will leave many fans upset and dissatisfied with the spectacle, adding to the notion that it will be a letdown as the Canelo-Crawford fight approaches. Turki Alalshik, who is in charge of the entire event, has come forth with a clear message. Alalshik, known for his tremendous effect in the boxing industry, is looking for a bout with true heart and soul, not just a technical duel. Alalshik's tweet sends a strong message to both combatants, encouraging them to step up and create a real spectacle. As the event's organizer, he's pushing for a fight that's about more than just avoiding punches. It's about heart, courage, and a full-fledged ring battle. This sets the tone for the September 13th fight, in which supporters can expect nothing short of spectacular action. A full bout. Robert Garcia, a well-known boxing trainer, has spoken out on the highly anticipated Canelo Alvarez vs. Terence Crawford bout, giving his thoughts on the event. While Garcia acknowledged Canelo as the favorite heading into the fight, he thinks Crawford has what it takes to pull off the upset. His view adds to the rising enthusiasm over this bout.
Alvarez Crawford on Netflix. They're fighting September 13th in Las Vegas.
Huge fight. I was one of the first ones to find out because I got that message from the main person telling me it's done.
Shout out to Turkey.
My boy Turk, favorite, everything. But me, I truly believe Crawford's gonna pull it off.
Why?
Because Crawford, this is the fight that makes that he becomes the three division undisputed. He makes fucking history. He becomes one of the greatest of all time, and he's gonna be fucking ready. He's gonna be so ready for it that we're probably gonna see the best Crawford ever. Canelo, on the other side, we haven't seen him at his best in his last 4 years.
He's gonna be motivated for this fight.
Hopefully he is, but he hasn't in the last couple of fights. He does enough just to win, carries the fights. He should be knocking.
Garcia's point of view emphasizes the change in momentum toward Crawford, despite the fact that many consider Canelo to be the established champion. Garcia emphasizes Crawford's exceptional form and willingness to take on the job. He also draws attention to Canelo's past troubles, implying that a 4-year sequence of subpar performances may leave him susceptible. This prediction elevates the stakes in an already exciting race. Kelvin Davis, who recently sparred with Terence Crawford, is confident in Crawford's potential to overcome Canelo Alvarez, having seen his skills personally. Davis predicts a strong showing by the champion on September 13th.
Crawford all the way. I got Crawford beating up Canelo actually, especially after what I just seen. Canelo just got better overall skills. The only thing Canelo has over Bud is the size. So once Bud neutralizes his power and his size, I think he's going to take off that night and have a dominating performance. Them size up, and actually I don't think it's going to be that much of a factor. So within Canelo performance he just had and them two just sizing up, I definitely got Terence all the way for sure.
Do you think he can stop him?
Yes, I actually think he can stop Canelo. A cumulative of punches, breaking them down throughout the rounds and just getting a late round stop it.
Davis feels Crawford's abilities will outweigh Canelo's size edge, and that Crawford may even halt him in the later rounds. His forecast adds to the growing belief that Crawford might dethrone Canelo. Haney, the father of boxer Devin Haney, stated why he encouraged Terence Crawford to face Canelo Alvarez. Haney feels Crawford has the strength and capacity to step up in weight, making a fight against Canelo a viable and legacy-building choice. Haney praises Crawford's strength and ability to fight in higher weight divisions. He thinks Crawford's stature and ability qualify him to challenge Canelo, despite the fact that he has usually fought at 147 pounds. Haney goes on to explain why he encouraged Crawford to fight Canelo after the Spence fight. He believed that, while both boxers might continue their rivalry, Crawford's legacy would gain more by moving up and confronting Canelo, which would provide an opportunity for more notoriety and financial reward.
Always telling him that, it was after the Spence, because, Spence, they had a great fight, you know what I'm saying? And then Spence has another fight in him with somebody else, but they don't both kill each other's brand with that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the people, the business people would have preferred if they would have just killed each other, kept killing each other, versus putting it in Bud's ear that he could go after Canelo and go for legacy, money, the real Mount Rushmore of boxing. That was his biggest big move.
Haney believes that, while the rivalry between Spence and Crawford was valuable, it may have come at the expense of Crawford's legacy. He sees the Canelo fight as a better chance to cement his place among boxing's all-time greats, bringing both financial success and historical significance. Terence Crawford muses on his progression across several weight classes, recognizing his accomplishments and the challenges ahead. He embraces the criticism surrounding his choice to fight Canelo Alvarez, seeing it as part of the excitement and unpredictability of boxing. Crawford's confidence radiates as he declares his desire to prove himself yet again.
by saying I started at 135.
Thank you.
You know, let's get that. You know,
world champion 140.
Yeah, world champion on 135.
135.
Yeah.
Okay, why?
135, 140, 147, 154. Now I'm, you know, daring to be great to be, you know, a 5 division world champion, 3-time undisputed. I'm happy about it. I love the controversy of, you know, I'm too small and he's too big, and, you know, I'm moving up 2 weight divisions into the wrong territory, and, you know, that's the beauty of boxing. Nobody knows what's gonna happen. I think Canelo started at what, 140?
Yeah.
So who was there to tell him, you know, you couldn't go all the way up to 178 and beat the bigger man like Crawford?
Crawford's statements underline the unpredictable nature of boxing and his willingness to take chances in chase of greatness, similar to Canelo, who moved up in weight and defeated larger opponents. Crawford is determined to defy the odds and show that size does not affect the outcome of a fight. This thinking strengthens his belief that he can overcome Canelo's advantages and continue his famous career. The stage is set for a spectacular clash on September 13th. With both competitors fully dedicated, it is anyone's game. Will Crawford's skill and resolve outweigh Canelo's knowledge and power? Or will the defending champion be too much for the challenger? Who do you think will come out on top, Canelo Alvarez or Terence Crawford? Please share your ideas in the comments below.